Okay, I think you all get the message by now that Black Clover is a Naruto clone. Well, that's actually pretty wrong, as that whole Naruto clone allegation thing can be debunked with one statement. If Black Clover is a Naruto clone, how come you don't like it as much as Naruto? And it's simple, it's because they're not the same. When discussing how similar two series are, the most important thing to look at is the series protagonist, the most important character of the story. And when looking at Asta and Naruto, we can see that this is simply a very lazy comparison made up because both want to be the leader of their country. But when you look deeper into just the very first chapter, we can see that they are very different. When looking at Black Clover's first chapter, we can see that Asta is a hard worker with a never give up attitude. He was an orphan, however he did grow up in a loving orphanage, but while there he did experience discrimination because he had no magic and he was a peasant. However, after suffering from this discrimination, it would motivate him to become the Wizard King and change the perception of every poor and/or magicless person. And then when we look at Naruto's first chapter, we can see that Naruto is a slacker who never took class seriously and would mess around for attention. The reason he did all of this though was because he was an orphan, but unlike Asta, he had no friends or family to go to. Add in that the village hated him because he had the 9 tails in him that completely destroyed the village, it caused him to be bullied and socially exiled. However, this would all spur him on to have the dream to want to become the Hokage and earn the respect and acceptance of the village. And then the last thing I want to mention about Asta and Naruto is that they both have a key moment where they unleash their power, and it further reinforces how different they are. For Asta, he can only lift up the sword because of all the hard work that he put in beforehand, compared to Naruto, who mastered a jutsu that jonins would struggle to do in a couple of hours. It shows that Naruto has always had the talent, but he never had the work ethic. And when you put all this information together, it demonstrates how different Asta and Naruto are. So you might be thinking, who cares if Asta and Naruto aren't exactly the same? The other characters in Black Clover are clearly Naruto clones as well. Well, if you were to believe that, you're wrong. With their inner demons, Kurama is constantly trying to take over Naruto versus Libe, who is never a threat to take him over. Add in that Libe never turned Asta's parents into a donut and that he's one of the weakest devils in the Black Clover verse, it really doesn't make any sense to compare Libe and Kurama. And the last thing I want to mention about both of these characters is that Black Clover hasn't even fully explored Libe as a character either. So as the story continues to go on, expect Libe to get more and more different from Kurama. When taking a look at their rivals, we see that their relationships are not the same at all. And it's kind of a massive joke to compare these two. With Asta and Yuno, they have a friendly rivalry and use each other as motivation to get stronger as they both aim to become the Wizard King. And throughout the story, we see that they are very close friends, and not gonna lie, they are basically brothers because they lived with each other since birth. Compare this to Naruto and Sasuke, who are engulfed in the cycle of hatred and constantly fight each other throughout the series, and I don't really understand how this comparison even makes any sense. Even as individual characters, the only thing that you can say that is similar between Yuno and Sasuke is that they're cool. Yeah, that's legit it. There is nothing else. And then when we look at this next comparison, this is the one that messes me up the most because I don't understand how this even happens. With Noelle, she is from a royal family, Sakura is not. Noelle is mainly a fighter on the battlefield while Sakura is a healer on the battlefield. Noelle is useful and Sakura is useless, so I don't really understand comparisons between these two. And even looking at their love interests, they're pretty different. Noelle loves the protagonist in Asta and is very shy about her feelings for him, while Sakura loves the Deuteragonist in Sasuke and is very open about her feelings for him. And this is also where we should look at the relevance of both characters. The reason why I deem Sakura as useless is because despite being the female lead, she only really has 2 arcs where she has a moment of relevance or importance, while with Noelle, she always has a moment in each arc, whether it be a fight, development for her character, or a development for her relationships between her family or Asta. And this essentially illustrates the key differences in character focus for Tabata and Kishimoto, as I think we can all agree that Tabata is outstanding when it comes to female characters, which Naruto lacks, versus Kishimoto, who is outstanding when it comes to antagonists, which Black Clover lacks for now. And we can continue to look at every other character in Black Clover and Naruto, but we would come to the same conclusion that they're all different from each other. So if their casts are different, then that must mean that their stories are the same. And yeah, if you believe that, you would be wrong once again, as there are two reasons why these stories are massively different. For one, Black Clover is set in a medieval and magical world that is heavily inspired by European fairy tales, folklore, Norse mythology, and Christianity. With Naruto, it is set in a ninja world and is heavily inspired by Eastern religions and Japanese mythology and folklore. And the second and more important reason revolves around what story Taba and Kishimoto are trying to tell. And we can look at what they're trying to tell by looking at the themes and core messages of both of their stories. With Black Clover, the core themes of it is discrimination and the strength of humanity, while with Naruto, it's the cycle of hatred and the effects of war on a society. And to refresh y'all's memory, just think about the major antagonists of these series and what their beliefs were, as it truly represents the core themes and messages of both series very well. So when you add all of this up together, we can see that their stories are not the same, the characters are not the same, so what truly makes Black Clover a Naruto clone? Well, the truth is that there's no reason to believe that Black Clover is a Naruto clone. With the two most important parts of the series being the story and character being pretty different, it explains why you don't enjoy one but you enjoy the other. And sure, they may share some powers between each other, but is that enough to call Black Clover a Naruto clone? Because if so, doesn't that mean Naruto is a Hunter x Hunter, Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, and Inuyasha clone then? And hopefully to all the Naruto fans watching this, that doesn't make you mad, but it more helps you understand why saying Black Clover is a Naruto clone is a factually incorrect statement. Because by doing that, you would also admit that Naruto copied Dragon Ball, Inuyasha, and Togashi in general, which even I don't believe is true because the most important parts of the series are different. So if you hated on Black Clover because they copied Naruto, I suggest giving it a real shot, because even if both series are different, you can still enjoy both, like I do. So hopefully this clears up all the allegations of Black Clover being a Naruto clone. And speaking of allegations, allegedly only 0.5% of y'all who watch my videos are subscribed, which is very low, so make sure to like this video and subscribe to disprove this wild allegation. So while y'all are doing that, I am going to read some Naruto and possibly debunk some narratives in the future about it as well, because if there's one thing similar between Naruto and Black Clover, it's that a lot of people don't understand them. So see you on the next video. Peace.